I want to talk about interviews today because yesterday when I did my live stream, yesterday actually I did an interview in one of the groups, Successful Female Entrepreneurs. It's a huge group, 25,000 people, and I had so many new connections, and so many people reached out to me, and we chatted after the interview. And one of the ladies, who I'm going to tag here, Suzanne Lovey Keller Heinz. It's a mouthful, but Suzanne asked me, what do I use for doing interviews? So I want to just talk to you about different options that you have, different opportunities that you can avail of to create interviews. Why would you want to use interviews in your visibility? It's probably obviously more applicable to someone with a business or someone who is marketing on Facebook. But when we have this weird thing, humans have this weird thing, we are people watchers, right? So we like watching people who talk solo, whether we like them or not. Actually, sometimes when we don't like someone, we're still magnetized and we are watching them anyway. It's a weird thing. So in my experience, and not just as someone who shows up and talks to people on camera, talks to my camera basically, and through the camera to the world, but also as someone who watches a lot of movies, and I watch a lot of, especially now that we're kind of in a lockdown and we're isolated, not that it changed my lifestyle much. Every night I watch like 1-2 movies for the last 10 years. I'm not joking. Because it's just the way we are, I don't like going out in the local area because the food standards are not up to my standards, and I feel like it's not worth for my money to go into the businesses where they can't provide good service or good food. Now, that's me, right? I'm very picky. So if you're watching me, you're in the local area and you love the local restaurants, that's all good. It's good for you. For me, it's not. So I'm not going out. What do I do instead? We cook at home. My husband's an amazing chef, to be honest with you. And we cook at home, we get some snacks, we have parties, and we watch movies. And sometimes I post, we have this big, huge 2-meter screen, and, we have a projector and we watch lovely movies. So I have a cinema at home. And that's what I do every night. And so what do we sometimes, and sometimes obviously we watch Netflix. And what I noticed is that sometimes you watch something that's completely horrendous, but you still watch it. And sometimes you watch it and you get so drawn in and it's not great and there is no value for you, but you just want to finish watching it because you've started and it's already like 30 minutes you're watching it. Although in my family, we have a 20 minutes rule that and sometimes it stops after 10. If after 10 minutes the movie didn't grab you, then it's shite, and there was only once that I watched something that had a very slow start, but then it was kind of like, wow, that's actually a good movie. Most of the time, a really good script will grab you from the start, and you'll build relationships with the cast from the start. And so this made me think, about why people follow. Why do we follow each other? And I'm not thinking about why people follow me, but I'm thinking about why do I follow other people online and buy from them? So if you're running a business, if you're marketing on social media, marketing your business, do think about how you make decisions. Like are you an impulsive person? Are you making decisions and you investing when you see numbers? For me, for example, it doesn't matter how much you're going to flash, how much money you're making in your business. That's not going to convert me. It's only my personal kind of attraction to your energy that will convert me, right? So we have to think about it. And so talking about this, like how we behave as viewers, as people watchers online, when we see two people talking, it's almost like an urge to see what they are talking about, because it's kind of like a FOMO effect, fear of missing out. If you're not watching them, then what they might say something you need. And it's an interesting thing. So that attracts the audience. But also I think that what happens is when you see two people on screen, you automatically position them as somebody, like you automatically add authority to them in your mind, because we are only really used to seeing people on the telly, in being interviewed. So it's just like an instant leverage of your authority. And this is why I really like the fact that people, not the fact, but that's why I really like recommending creating your interview series. First of all, it's easy to talk to another person. It's much easier to create an interview, because an interview doesn't have to be question and answer. I hate those kind of interviews. Don't invite me to those interviews, because if you can't have a conversation, then we shouldn't have a conversation. All my interviews are all very conversational, right? And we can sometimes go off topic, and that's okay as well, because this is where the energy is. This is where some really good stuff can come out. And so when I started in 2017 building my personal brand, which means being active on Facebook and showing up as who I am and using video, the very first thing I did was I created a show. So basically, I had an idea. I need to create an online presence. In around, April, May, I was doing this live video challenge in a private group, so it wasn't even on my personal profile. But my the first thing that my gut said to me to do is to create that interview series. What did it do for me and my visibility? It positioned me alongside people who were already successful or more successful than me. I didn't need to have Oprah on my show. I just needed someone who is already doing what I was about to do, or I wanted to figure out how to do. And so by positioning myself alongside successful entrepreneurs with already established audiences, not necessarily huge audiences, but established raving fans, people who they work with, people who they're getting results with, that really leveraged the perception of who I was. And so as time went on, and I did religiously twice a week, I did my show every Tuesday, every Wednesday, and I did them live. So it was a commitment, but I enjoyed it too, because I met amazing people. And then eventually I was surprised how many people who I didn't think I deserved to have on my show would agree and be so happy and say to me that they're honored to be on my show. Now this show transformed in 2018. I renamed it and rebranded it as Show Up, Stand Out, and I've reduced the activity to once a week. I've done something like 197 episodes so far. I've been positioned with alongside amazing people, the leading people in their niche. And that is brilliant, because that's branding by association as well. So what I want to do, by the request of Suzanne, I want to talk about what tools you can use to create an interview and start really, really leveraging your visibility and how people perceive you. Because even if you're a host, you're straight away perceived as an expert, because you should have a conversation and you should put your 2 cents when you're talking about anything as well. That's how you position yourself, as you know what you're talking about. So I get a lot of people asking me, how can I stream with Zoom on Facebook? Well, I have some bad news for you. You have to have a webinar version of Zoom application to be able to stream directly to Facebook. And even at that, I don't think it's perfect, because it actually is very slow to connect. So the start of your interviews is like, everybody's waiting, don't know when they're live, and it's just really, really, iffy kind of, so people, the first few seconds are so important of our live streams. So in the first few seconds, it's important to grab that attention. Everything else, checking if everything is working, or sharing your live stream somewhere, should happen a little bit later, when you already got people and you told them what you're going to talk about and all these kind of things, right? So I want to talk today about different solutions for you. You don't have to be technical for them. You don't even have to install anything for them. But those are the alternative things. Now, I myself, for my interviews, I'm using Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is a standalone application for Mac users only. And it allows me to do a lot of things. I'm going to talk today more about simple things. So I'm not going to go into my setup and how I do the interviews, because, I want to make it accessible, what I'm sharing with you now, and not overcomplicate and overwhelm people who are not technical at all. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you, first of all, one of the programs that you can use, and there is a free level on it, a package on it, which is called StreamYard. In fact, yesterday I was interviewed in Successful Female Entrepreneurs by Maria Vent, and she was using StreamYard. You can see that there is a logo here. You can see that she was able to add titles. You can add different things like, like a topic, or, there's a couple of options there, even on the free account. But on the free account, there is no time limit. It's just that you have that ugly logo, and sorry, StreamYard, you have a horrendous logo. And so you can see, you can put comments on screen, you can, you can put call to action like this. You can only use the logo when you're paying. Let's just have a look at the prices here. Pricing, just so you know. So yeah, so you can have up to 6 on-screen guests. You can share screen, which is brilliant. You can use banners, put the comments. You can add colors and blah 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 blah. The only thing that you don't have here that's really bad is the StreamYard logo is there. Okay, 20 hours per month on the free plan. That is insane. So if you go live for 15 minutes a day, you know, that's fine. If you have 4 interviews and each one of them is 45 minutes, that doesn't even come close to this. So this is really, really generous. And then you can put up with the ugly logo if you can do this, right? Very easy to set up and use. You don't need to install absolutely anything. You set up your account and you get a link that you send to your guest. The guest logs in. It's all in their browser. You know, they will select which camera they're using, which microphone they're using, and off you go. And you can have up to 6 guests. I think that you can have only 4 on screen at the same time. There is some sort of like there is this section, it's like a green room that you can bring people in and out, but it's really, really handy software, and as I said, it's free. The other one that I would definitely also recommend is V.A.L.U.E. Very similar, the same principle. You know, you start your program and you just send somebody a link, they join. The host has to be on the computer, I think, for both StreamYard and V.A.L.U.E. But the guest can join on the phone. V.A.L.U.E. has their own app, and you can download an app and join it and just do live streaming on your phone if you don't have a good camera, and phones are really, really much better for that. Molly Mahoney is one of the ambassadors for V.A.L.U.E. TV, and she uses this very often. So you can also bring people onto the screen. You know, you can create call to action, you can put different frames. Now what it doesn't have is an ability to have so much free time on a free account, you know. So they say, where was this? Okay, try. I think that they allow up to 4 broadcasts, 20 minutes broadcasts a month. If you are serious about your business, never be afraid to invest in tools, because first of all, they give you a great way to add your logo, add customized design, all these kind of things. But also they're an expense you can write off your business expenses. So never really, don't be like a freebie seeker. It's a very bad mentality. If you can invest, do invest, because most of the time it's worth it. Most of the time it is. So there's the 2 alternatives that you can use. So V.A.L.U.E. TV and StreamYard. And I'm going to put both of these links into the comments, and that's how we roll, and that's pretty much what you can use for your interviews. Again, if you have any questions about the interviews, if you have questions about what I use and how I create my interviews, and I have the branding on and everything, so I'll show you actually. See, Ecamm allows me to record. First of all, I have my intro, I have all these kind of things, and it allows me to record the intro, and then I use Zoom to pre-record the videos. And then what happens is that it seamlessly allows me to record my intro, then the interview itself, and then at the end when the interview, so on the interview I have my titles. All of these are overlays that I'm putting in Ecamm, and then at the end of the show, when I say goodbye, it goes into a little outro as well. And Ecamm is brilliant because it just allows me to record it all in sequence, and I could do it live as well. It would be easy enough to do it live, but it's more technical. That's why I didn't want to highlight it today. So that's me today. I will see you on another Restore Normality video tomorrow. Bye.